TTB episode 30, TTB After Dark episode 33. Today is March 31st, 2026. We got a lot of stuff going on in the NBA. That's the title of this show is. NBA versus Jaden Ivey. I'll give a little bit of my thoughts on that. A little bit more of the Larry Fink discussion. Him reversing from DEI, Black Rock, that is. Some stuff going on in Iraq and Iran and everything. You know, people getting snatched up now. Then this story dropped a little bit earlier today. About this. So I'll just go and play that. Hold up.
We're learning more details tonight about what led to the arrest of an Eau Claire North High School teacher on allegations of sexual assault involving multiple students. Nadia Horn remains in custody tonight. Toby Moore joins us with the latest information on the case.
There are still many details we don't know as charges are yet to be filed, but Eau Claire police say the investigation into North High School teacher Nadia Horn began Wednesday before her arrest Wednesday afternoon.
The Eau Claire Police Department started an investigation yesterday into sexual assault allegations being perpetrated by a teacher at North High School, later identified as Nadia Horn.
ECPD Lieutenant Mark Piper says Horn is being held on suspicion of sexual assault of a child by school staff and second-degree sexual assault of a child. Piper says they believe there are multiple victims, all believed to be minors. In a letter sent to parents Wednesday, ECASD Superintendent Mike Johnson said the district learned of the allegations Wednesday. A school resource officer notified law enforcement. Wow. Johnson said Horn has been suspended without pay pending legal resolution. The district confirmed Thursday that is still the case. Lieutenant Piper says at this time they do not believe any other school staff members were involved. They are asking North High School parents to talk to their kids and contact the police department if they have any information.
It is a scary time for parents, and it's a sad and unfortunate incident. We're going to do our best to investigate it. Our primary role is the protection of the children of our community, so we take this very seriously.
Horn is being held in the Eau Claire County Jail awaiting formal charges. Once charges are filed, we'll learn more about the details surrounding the arrest.
All right. So apparently this happened in Wisconsin. There's a lot of stuff going on in Wisconsin. If y'all don't know. Yeah, she was they call it world studies. But we used to call it world history in Texas. 22. See, what this was gets me about. And I had big old debate. I have an aunt that's a teacher and stuff. I got, this might sound old school. Almost, if you 20, you're not that far away from being high school yourself, right? I think if you're going to be younger as a teacher, me personally, I would rather you be in elementary school because, like, it's just my belief. Now, it might be reasons you can't do that and everything. I might be ignorant on a lot of stuff. I'm not going to allow that about that. But just me using common sense here. Because I remember when I'm 22, right? You literally just came from high school. Now, I understand, yeah, you're supposed to, the whole idea of, you being a teacher, you're supposed to be teaching people and everything like that. But it's almost unfair, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I'm just a dude on the internet. But 22, like legit, if let's say she went to a get together and like let's say one of the students was like they were like 18 or whatever, nobody even think nothing of it if they were dating, like outside of the school thing. It's the fact that they're in school and stuff, which is crazy. Now, in this case, she was messing around with underage. It's a situation she'll mess around with underage folks. I get that. Yeah, that's fucked up. She need to get punished by the law and everything. You know what I mean? I'm with the full extent. But I'm just saying, like, with how our system is, right? And it's more of a I got more of like a thing about public schools in the first place. Like, I think the problem with public schools is that they public. This just my belief system. I'm pretty much libertarian on how education should be ran. That's one of my that's one of my things that I might rub people the wrong way with. It's just the fact is, like, anything public is catering to the lowest common denominator, not actually pushing the highest to sell in that system, in my opinion. And a lot of the most violence adolescent faces is when they go to public schools. That's my belief. Like it's just one of those things where there's no incentive to actually go above and beyond other than a teacher to actually give a damn. That's like no market situation that incentivizes teacher to actually, lift up everybody in that situation. I got a lot of beliefs in the public school system in general. It sucks because how our society's ran. Like it's pretty hard to go back kind of old school, but that's like one of my belief system about like the school system, because I feel like she was almost set up for failure in a way, even though she did make a decision. I'm not taking nothing away from she made that decision and everything. But a 20-year-old educating people that she probably would have went to school with in some cases. Let's say, like, let's think about this. Let's say she went to one of those schools where it go already to 6th grade, right? She could have. I'm talking about when in elementary school. She could have literally went to school with some of these kids she's teaching, because like, okay, because like they in the same age range when it comes to like being in elementary school and everything. So it's to me just kind of crazy. A 20-year-old teaching high school is just crazy to me. And I don't understand that she's adult and everything. She deserves whatever she got. She's getting with this. She deserves it, because, like, look, you have to uphold the standard, the whole nine. I'm not taking nothing away from her. I'm just saying a problem with our system. I hope that's I made it pretty much clear, because like what people will do, they'll take the fact that I'm saying she's kind of excused or doing what she did because she's 22, and I don't know. I'm not excusing none of that. I'm just saying it's a problem with our system where her ideal place as a teacher, just because of her age range, would have been like in elementary school. The top's like middle school, but middle school really, if you know anything about like teaching in general, middle schools is probably the hardest one. By that's what most teachers say. Like middle school is, because the fact is that's when a lot of attitude happen. That's when a lot of the stuff like in the household comes out a little bit. Like it's a lot of other hormones and stuff. Like they changing, so you gotta deal with that. And it just a volatile period in like pretty much everybody's life. Like that's when you really try to figure out who you really are. To the most of it, like from 6th grade to like 9th grade, that's when you're really trying to figure out shit as a kid. Anyway, that's when a lot of the whole puberty thing going on. But like 22-year-old, I don't know. I was gonna have an issue with them teaching high schoolers. It's just, I mean, you have to think about it. Like, think about when you was 22 in general. Like, I'm thinking I'm 22 and I'm barely thinking about marriage at 22. I'm trying to figure out how to pay a car, make sure I pay a car note on time at that time. I mean, that's just, yeah, I was knucklehead back then. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm trying to figure out, okay, am I drinking Grey Goose that for Friday and Saturday for the function, or am I drinking Patron? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not thinking about teaching nobody at 22. I can look me. The issue I would have, I was teaching high school at 22. I would have been I've been trying to holler at every new teacher coming in that bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's just more my mentality at 22. I wouldn't be looking at no students or anything like that. That wouldn't be on my top of time. But like, shit, you 30-year-old substitute teacher and you look good, I would have been trying to holler at you at 22. I'll keep it a buck. Yeah, yeah. But then you got to put it in perspective too. Like teaching is a very stressful job too. It's very stressful. I can imagine. Now I know, like, especially it's different with women too, man. Like that tension start hitting up. Yeah. I got 2 girls. I know how that is, man. But like, hey, it's crazy though. Let's get to the next story. So, this is the big story. I saw this yesterday when I was doing show prep for the other stuff I did yesterday. Damn, it seemed like yesterday is a blur. But it's about the Jaden Ivey, and this went viral. I'm just gonna go on and say this. I got like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I got 10 tabs open for this story alone, and I could have like probably 10 more, but like right now we in silly season. Tomorrow's April Fool's is my brother's birthday. It's kind of funny. I always joke on him about that, but it's a lot of people putting players that didn't say nothing about the situation, trying to make it look like they said. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. But these are the ones I know. What's up? How you doing, Jess J? Yeah, this is one of those stories that I know is like, this is like the 10 is legit. So here we go.
That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA.
Before I go any further, just to put some perspective, I just found out this earlier. He just turned his life to Christ. He literally just turned his life, gave his life to Christ and everything, right? So just put that in context here.
They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that this man is crazy?
All right. So yeah, he got fired. He got waived over that for conduct detrimental to the team. And this is my stance on this, right? I think I'm seeing a lot of commentary, like people I follow outside of certain spaces I'm a part of, and like there's one instance where they don't understand why he got waived, and honestly, I don't understand why he got waived, really, on the most part. And they got good reason on that. Other part of this thing, like the non-sports fan commenting on this, that's political, that's super political. How you doing, Sassy 81? They have to understand, like, these players. I learned this with talk. Shout out to Kwame Brown and like listening. They are like, you have to understand, they not that far away from oppositions. Like I was talking about this whole situation about at work and everything, and I got into it. I ain't get into it, but I had like a heated discussion about like Kaepernick, and this is similar to Kaepernick. Not gonna lie about it. It's similar to Kaepernick because of the part of the career path they were on. Kaepernick's more decorated. However, my stance on Kaepernick was this, and it's always been that. I felt like he did not love the game as much as the movement he was a part of. And this is my opinion on that. And it comes from me actually knowing a couple of NFL football players that know the whole situation and what they saying behind the scenes without the cameras. I'm not gonna go in detail on that. Like Texas, it's you gonna know somebody that play ball if you live in Texas. You part of certain like youth leagues and everything like that. You're gonna know somebody. So with that being said, like I feel like Kaepernick had a better chance. I won't say that Derrick Rose still exists. I'm not gonna say that Baker Jackson. I'm not gonna go there that far. But I post. Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. Derrick Rose still exists, and he was a very good player for them. They had a couple good runs with them, like Joakim Noah and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna go there. I know a little bit about sports too. But back to my point, like my feeling on Kaepernick is that he didn't start kneeling until he started skipping out routes. And what I mean by skipping out routes, he was not playing good anymore at all, and he had a better path to redemption because of him being a former Pro Bowler, Super Bowl quarterback. If he would have, he could have got back in the league and still be able to do his movement. Because, like, look, think about all the players that was with him, that was kneeling and everything. They still stayed in the league and still was very productive. Like Eric Reed was productive. He was at Carolina, I believe, from that time. Then, injury set in. He got hurt and everything. But like, yeah, I just the twins, Michael and yeah, they played for Texas A&M. I just went tip of my tongue. They stayed in the league, like the Bennett brothers. They stayed in the league, like they played. One of Bennett, Michael Bennett, ended up coming here, the Dallas and stuff. Like that, NFL is like if you can produce and you could be a part of a team and you could not have as much distraction, or you can manage your distractions, they'll give you a chance if they know you could you got a skill set or whatever. I think Kaepernick wanted to control the situation for his movement. That's just my opinion on that. I don't think he really give a damn about football after, and he suffered from a lot of abandonment issues just because of how that went down in San Francisco. Like everybody part of that Super Bowl team started leaving, which that's what happens in the NFL. And he couldn't deal with that, and then that's why he ended up joining that movement. It was just a perfect situation. It's a perfect storm situation, I should say. Perfect situation would be like he'd be still playing. So that's why, like, I butt heads with a lot of people because they're like, he could still play, he could do this. I said, I don't think he really cared about playing. He cared about pushing the movement, which you take that for what it is, And if I'm an NFL GM, I want a ball player. I don't want a fucking political pundit, especially a quarterback. That's just how they're gonna look at it. So in this case, the problem Jaden is having, he just got saved. If you know anybody that just got saved, this is one of the times they doing everything verbatim on the word because like they trying to get close to the Lord. They trying to redeem themselves. They like that's the most hardcore they're gonna be is when somebody just gets saved, because like it's like you seeing the whole world in a whole different light, and you seeing how you got caught up in wickedness and everything, and in non-righteous behavior and everything. So the balance is not there. So being in Chicago, being in Detroit, being in really blue cities, blue states, that's really big on like Chicago's really big. Like they got a whole town called Boys Town for that community, you know. And no disrespect to anybody community. I'm not even going that area right there. I'm just saying you the facts on the ground and the fact that and a lot of them look at. I'm not saying that community, but just the city, the state, or whatever. I mean, Kyrie dealt with the same scenario. Like when he was in Cleveland, I understand Cleveland, a blue city, but it's pretty blue collar. That whole area is pretty blue collar, and you know, to a point where they agree with regular Republicans more often than not. It just look like probably like a little the main ones that will disagree with, like they'll disagree with Bush or somebody like that in some cases. But like that's why Kyrie didn't have too much issues in Cleveland, other than the front office in Cleveland, you know. But when he go to Boston, when he go to Brooklyn, and then shit hit the fan, like in Boston, he didn't have like the team kind of rebelled against him, and then the city basically rebelled against him a little bit. In Brooklyn, everything was good until the vid happened, and then he wasn't gonna play by those rules about doing the jab and the whole nine. So when you got places where if you don't go with the status quo, they want to get rid of you no matter how good you are or anything. So because Brooklyn and Boston is that type of town, like you could be playing pedophile good, but if you outspoken politically against, you know, what they are for up there, they be ready to get rid of you like crazy. Like I got another little thing about what's going on with the Patriots because of this situation. But we get to that. So it made sense for me. I knew Kyrie would work down here in Texas, in Dallas, and you know, especially because it's a diverse scene in Dallas. Like you can find what you into in you know, in a good positive place in Dallas. Like they got a large Muslim contingency in like Oak Cliff or whatever. They got like, and we respect everybody's religion until it start interfering with our livelihood and our work, you know, our state or whatever. It becomes a threat. And that's a level, like I said, that's a level. Like even when political lens, when they try to push the Sharia stuff, that's when we, you know, you see people get active like, all right, we need to pass something on this to make sure that like this said hold. Now you can say, well, you know, Texas is a purple state, whatever. You can think all you want to. That's not my point of that discussion. But Dallas is one of the places where if you are good, we don't care about what you do until it affects your game. That's why if you go look at like the Raj Rondo and the Lamar Odom situation, Lamar Odom, he evidently was on something. Something was going on there. He, you know, you could tell that he did not want to be here, and we know. And that's the thing is, we got smart fans here. We know if you don't want to be here, we get the vibe you don't want to be here. Oh yeah, we ready to get up out of here. Like we don't need that. You know, we work hard. We are hardworking mindset people here, and if you showing that you give a damn and you plan to that, you know, it's showing that you produce and stuff. We're gonna rock with you. We're gonna sell that motherfucker AAC out. We're gonna buy your jersey. We're gonna show you love. You go to Central Market, or you pop up somewhere. You pop up at Parks Mall trying to get some J's and stuff. You don't get nothing but love down there. But if you look like you don't want to be here, and you kind of moping around, or you're doing everything, you don't look like you super committed to the team. People catch on that shit fast down here. What's up, Nacho? So personally, I think if Jaden Ivey gets signed to the Mavericks, right now we need guard help. He gets signed to the Mavericks and he just get good rehab. We got a lot of big. I ain't gonna say big church. We do have big churches, but we got a large faith contingency down here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and everything. Like we got him. I think he needs to be somewhere like here. We need to be somewhere like Oklahoma City, Houston. I won't say San Antonio because San Antonio a little you still got pop situation down there. I think New Orleans will be good. You see here I say New Orleans. New Orleans will be good for them, man, because like shit, you getting that good cooking and they show love down there in New Orleans. If you winning the ball, they'll show you love down there. This is the same kind of mentality. It's that Southern mentality. But all three cities got in all four cities. I put Oklahoma City in there too. Like if you willing there, you just gotta play within their system and you good. Ivy, I think biggest thing Ivy had is like he been injury prone. He needed to really sit down and have a good rehab and shit. You gotta figure some things out in his life, man. Like, cause whenever you just get saved, you gotta understand the balance. We'll talk a little bit more about it. That he had more stuff to say about Steph Curry. Let's hear this. I didn't hear this part.
That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered. And y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian. But he cursing just like the world.
We are now almost ready to go, so please take your seats, fasten your seatbelt.
Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth. That him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name. Because all that stuff is not going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got.
I'll buy it, yes.
All them rings LeBron got. All them rings Michael Jordan got.
So, look, I don't know. I got something on Steph Curry. I could actually put it in perspective. We go find that story real quick. And he kind of been going through. His wife been putting him through some bullshit too. Rose, all right, there. Go find that story. Not a lot of stories. Shit. Okay. Damn, I missed that story. I should say. All right, here we go. Speaking of that,
vice versa.
So this came out. Hey, you didn't see anything about this.
I don't know if I didn't have any game or if she was nervous or like vice versa. And like neither one of us really it was just,
I feel like this is something that gets misconstrued.
Okay.
Well, publicly.
Let's
clear it up. So, no, it's not that you didn't have game.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14 years old. I was not allowed to talk to boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Basically, she out here. Hey, they doing a redemption tour with Aisha right now. Just give me a heads up.
so does make a difference.
That
it's
is
14.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one putting you. Yeah. So
But did I think you were cute? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But did
Feelings
you?
mutual.
I also heard you had a note.
It's from the Michelle Obama podcast, by the way, which she kind of went out of pocket a little bit on Barack, but that's another story. We ain't gonna go there. This is about stuff right now.
Athletes rule.
That is true.
So tell me about
A
that.
very
14?
disrespectful comment also on my part. It's so
Okay.
honestly,
Okay. Thank you.
No, yes,
That's really nice
Why
of you
is
to
that?
straighten that
Why
out.
is that disrespectful?
I had very textbook maybe misconceptions.
like kind of frame like movie plots. And
Movie
like,
plot
it's like-
ideas of athletes,
Stereotype.
the jock
Yeah,
stereotype.
Okay.
I was a theater nerd, so I think I was protecting my peace and just, I don't know, the teacher, it was an activity one day in class and she said, write down what you would look for. And it was in capital letters. Like, God is funny. It was in capital letters. And my parents found it way down the road. I want to say like maybe 8 years ago
Mhm.
in an old box. And they
Oh.
were like, ha, ha, look at this. And I'm like, oh, wow. It's embarrassing.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Why did you keep that? That don't even make sense. Okay, I don't know. My bullshit meter going up.
I don't know. It was just an activity in class that she had us do. But I definitely did say that. And I think I did think that too. This is another thing that gets misconstrued. People, for some reason, think that in the past I've said that he wasn't my type.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was I didn't think I was his type.
Yeah.
Because this was Mr. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I kind of sold myself short in thinking like, oh, there's no way. He must just like me as a friend. So I won't even take it that. I'm glad it did.
All right. I'll stop right there. I'm going to play a little bit more, but I'll stop right there. I think there's a ongoing effort of redeeming a lot of people that said some crazy shit in the last couple years. Because like the Jay-Z interview, Jay-Z out here looking weird as hell after like him like disowning Diddy, after we see all those videos of him going to white parties and everything. Aisha literally just he's fucking playing in the league, doing his thing, and she out here out of pocket like a motherfucker saying, yeah, Nacho, I'm getting that same vibe. By the way, let me drop the link again if y'all want to come up. Yeah, I'm getting the same vibe, man. But like, I think there's a redemption arc situation going on. You know what I mean? That's happening here, and it's a little weird now. Like everybody trying to get redemption arc because like, I think they reposition themselves. I don't buy this.
Yeah. She left the door open.
I'm glad I didn't get friend zoned.
I would have to say.
Every time I texted her call, she picked up the phone after I was on full court press mode. After that date, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
See, we guys know that y'all in charge.
Yes.
So
when I finally realized that was the direction it was going in, I verbalized that to him that I was confused because if there's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speak my mind. With you. But he looked at me because he had come to my house for 2 weeks straight at the time, my parents' house.
So that didn't tip you off.
He said, he's like, you think I've been coming over here every night for the past 2 weeks to play video games with your brothers? I was like, oh,
it's like
that makes a lot.
All right, that part kind of explains why she's extra friendly with other players because she grew up with a whole bunch of brothers. So she feel like she's part of the crew. That's why she does some of that. And part of that, she probably looking a little bit. There's something about that too. She probably looking a little, doing a little here, a little there, looking a little bit. But that explains her having a lot of brothers and living that. Cause like my sister, like shit, if she'll rather hang out with me and the brother instead of me and my brother instead of like other girls and stuff like that. Even though she's girly as hell, she just used to that, that type of situation. So I kind of get that, but like it looks weird outside looking in, cause especially NBA players, shit. Hey, they trying to get advantage over everybody in some cases.
I'm glad it all happened. Those
are the days. No, for sure. It was a beautiful kind of reconnection at that point.
Yeah, so that it's more. But let's get back to the Jaden Ivey. I was about to say Jordan Ivey. I'm fools. The Jaden Ivey situation. So apparently, his jersey sold out. Last night his jersey sold out on the website. So that's crazy. Like a lot of people got his jersey. You might see that at church Sunday. Oh, and guess who want to say something? Fucking Josh Giddey. If y'all don't remember what happened to Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey got they found out he had an underage girlfriend. So if you don't know what's going on with the Chicago Bulls, because right now Chicago Bulls is the same. I ain't gonna say same boat as my Mavericks, even though the record looks similar. They really kind of rudderless right now. They got, I believe, they got a lot of draft picks. They got a lot of like aspiring contracts and all kinds of craziness going on. They in turmoil right now. They trying to rebuild. They in rebuild mode like crazy. I think Josh Giddey, they top scorer right now, which is crazy. So Josh Giddey says Jaden Ivey needs help. See, that's the narrative they're using. They like if you talking about the law too hard and you criticizing, okay, you obviously crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're out of your mind. Obviously, the whole thing is kind of unfortunate in a way. I hope he gets the help he needs. Okay, that's rich. Whatever he's going through or not going through, okay, that's another answer. I do really hope he gets help. He's not going to be with the Bulls anymore, but whatever he is, I hope he gets it. I'm not gonna go too hard on that because he just saying things to keep his job and because some reporter asked him on that, you know. But honest God truth. Oh yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, you gotta be real careful in that, especially in the athlete sense, because like basketball might be the worst of those, because like shit, that's where like football. That's a mentality with football, right? If somebody really fuck with you, you're gonna get them in practice. You're gonna get them in Oklahoma drill. You're gonna get them. It's gonna be it's gonna be a field house justice type situation, you know. Like like in high school, like if y'all celebrate, you have ever went to if your son got Columbus Day practice, that's that Monday after Columbus Day. That's the roughest practice in the whole because usually that practice is okay. You probably been dealing with some bullshit throughout the season. You like if you're a safety, the opposite safety ain't you know, he getting beat. He getting people getting behind himself. I'm talking for about 303 here. Like safeties, our main job in the most part is not letting the receiver get not being the last line of defense, and it must a little bit different with strong safety depending on the scheme. But on the most part, free safety, you can't have nobody go get past you. You can't have. It's the whole saying. If you even, you leaving. If a receiver gets even with the free safety, that's going to be a big play, more likely. If the receiver crosses the free safety's face on a post, that's going to be a big play. It's just the way it is. And then somebody keep on happening. You're gonna have to go out there. Hey, that's when in practice you're gonna get ran through the ringer in a lot of cases. And it's just little things. I mean, it's rules of the game that's not even on the rule book. It's unwritten rule type shit. So like, that's a crazy. I lost my train of thought. With Giddey is like the last person to be even saying anything. He shouldn't even be talking really, because like he literally pulled a Epstein Island shit, and he's still in the league. So Chicago's just a bad situation, man. They're gonna have to do a cleanup. They probably got to do a front office cleanup if they ain't careful. He was dating a 16-year-old chick, man. That's crazy. I believe he's like in his 20s. So this is Mace right here. Next story, Mace was talking about the situation, and he came with some good points on this. I give him that. Let's read.
Can you share with me what he said about Stephen Curry?
Yeah, let me get that for you.
Because this is an interesting point, because I actually probably know some people that are related to him not only from Detroit, but just, you know, just some other areas that paths have crossed. Not that I've actually met them. I would love to speak with him. I probably could add some clarity and context to his life, because sometimes you're just echoing the sentiments of people that you've spoken with, people that you've been discipled by, right? So if he's a Christian, then he's probably speaking from a discipleship place. And this is why one of the 3 most important decisions you're going to make in life is going to be the person you marry, it's going to be the faith that you choose, and it's going to be the pastor that you choose to follow, or the synagogue or church or whatever it is, or mosque or anything like that.
That's some, and Mace was a pastor for I believe he's still, when he got his minister license and all that stuff, man. Like, that's some true situation there. Like, that is a big deal, especially when if you're getting out of a place of wickedness, that's a vulnerable place spiritually you could be, like, because if somebody feeding you hatred, you know, because, like, you know, when it's based off of love, like, I can disagree with a lifestyle but still love the person. You know what I'm saying? If you so focus on that lifestyle and hating that lifestyle, you forget about the person. That's why I kind of cringe a little bit when people, like, especially when I hear, like, Christians want to talk about the LGBT a lot, all the time. I'm like, I get it. Like, it's an abomination unto God. I get that part. I disagree with the lifestyle. I biblically, spiritually, I won't disagree with the lifestyle. However, you're supposed to be breathing love into anybody that you contact with. So you could disagree with somebody and still smile at them, like, you know what, I still love you as a brother and sister. You know, you lost here, and, you know, if you ever need something, I'm here to pray for you and everything. If not, hey, go for what you know, but I'll be praying for you anyway, because, you know, that's a hard, you know, it's facts that support even our biblical stance on that, because when you get to the domestic violence situations in those communities, they're among the highest of all of the domestic, all the certain groups in, like, domestic situations. The LGBT have the roughest domestic violence situation. That's factual. Nobody talks about that because, you know, we don't still talk about that stuff. But based on what the statistics saying, you go look at your local, you just go talk to the cop and they'll tell you what's the roughest domestic violence situation. I know that's anecdotal and everything, but just, you know, sometimes you need to talk to people before you form an opinion on something, you know? So that's why you gotta have room for love. When I'm saying love, speak love, and speak, like, because, like, think about it. Christ was with everybody that was considered, like, degenerate or the unmentionables of society at that time. He spoke love to each and every one of them, even Thomas that doubted him. You know, that's what you supposed to be doing. That's living Christ like. You know, so you know, you gonna tell the truth, but you're gonna say you're gonna try to put love. You're gonna tell the truth, but hey, I'm gonna tell you harsh truth, but I still love you as a brother and sister in Christ.
Because this person is going to be speaking into your life every day. And if they're speaking hatred to him, then he's going to speak hatred to the world. If they're speaking balance to him, he's going to speak balance to the world. Just like, you know, for me, I got born again. I heard about Christ, and I didn't want to be around nobody that was pretty much human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn. I told Killer this when a person first get born again. You really can't watch or pay attention to much of anything they say for just a small period of time, because it's so new to them and it's so fresh that they're trying to live it to the max, which they should, right? But they don't have the balance at that point It would be the same as becoming a devout Muslim, right? This person now think everybody that is lighter skin is the devil. We know that's not true. We know there's some brown skinned people that are the same way. So when he's going after, from what I'm hearing, if he's going after people that goes with the sponsoring of the lead that pays his check, that's what makes it a problem.
Yeah.
It's not just the people he's talking about. The people that he's talking about actually are part of the people that's paying him the money he's getting.
A little bit on that though. So this is probably why this is why the conservative right, the Christian right, the Christians in general, you have to start investing in businesses, investing in stuff that we can, when people are, when these players do turn their right life around to Christ, they have covering from the I got you. They have to have covering from the fellowship, like the flock. We gotta cover them just like they cover they when they go through this. It just gotta happen, right? And especially the black church. See, this is the part where these pastors and stuff, they need to be coming to him and say, hey, all right, we got you. We got you. Hey, you speaking truth, but hey, let's balance this out. And wherever you go, we're gonna give you a platform to, we're gonna show you love. We're gonna give you everything you need to help better your spiritual guidance and stuff and everything. Because even though he said the truth, and the truth can't be hurtful in some cases. You gotta keep a part of loving the human there. Like you gotta speak life in these folks. There's a lot. If you know anybody in that community, it's a lot of people that been abused in that community. It's just a fact. It's not saying that's a cause of it. I got you, Phoenix. How you doing? Hello? Phoenix.
Oh, I can hear you now. I was like, what the
Okay.
hell? I don't know what the hell happened. I thought I went there. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
That's good, great.
Base came with some good points though about if people who just got saved that been out there.
I mean, it's the truth because it happens. Listen, in my experience, and nobody has to agree with me. I don't give a damn. This is just what I've seen and somewhat experienced myself. When people's eyes are actually open, like when they actually turn their life back over to Christ. Because listen, let's be real. Most of us grew up in the church, but we weren't paying attention to what was going on. We was just like, yeah, whatever. I want to be out here because it looks fun on this side. When they turn their life back over to Christ and are serious about it, because maybe it was a traumatic experience that happened. Maybe they was just like, you know what, I just do need to make some changes and adjust some things because, I would like to live in the blessing and not necessarily always the lesson. Some of the most devout Christians to this day was out there in them streets heavy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, and I appreciate it because they put the same energy in the Lord as they did into running the streets. So I give them that. They dedicated their lives. They really dedicated it. But they have a past. And the past is sometimes very dark. But yeah, once you start getting back into the word and reading your Bible and listening to people's testimony, it opens your eyes in a certain way as a grown person that it might not necessarily have done as a child. Because there are some children that sticks with the word. They learn it, they stick with it, and that's good for them. They ain't out here in the streets. But those that have both experiences, they get into their word and they start all their sins start coming out, like they're regurgitating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They feeling bad about certain things that they've done. They knew better. They did not choose right, like the guilt that comes with that
And
as well.
that's a trick of the devil
And
too.
then it's like they want to reach out to everybody that they know because they love you and try to overcorrect you because
Yep.
again, the guilt is real.
Yep.
And it's like you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. Like you seen the stuff I went through and da 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 da. Da. Okay, cool. And I'm happy for your journey, but now I gotta get there just like you did.
Mm-hmm. And understanding
So
that, because
he's not wrong.
yeah, and I think with Jaden though, real talk, and Kyrie kind of went through the same thing when you went to, if you go to two big Detroit, he was just injured a lot. That's the vibe I got there, and he was trying to figure shit out, and then they don't have, like, they need other pieces, and that's why they up there and wreck and everything, because they had something to build up, so they had he was a sacrificial lamb in that situation. I get that. It's unfortunate, but that's the business of basketball and sports in general. But like with Chicago, Chicago wasn't a good spot for him. If you just, I'm firmly believe if you just turn your life around to Christ, Chicago is probably the bluest city in the country right now. They up there. Like it's some issues where they blew it in San Francisco. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
that's the worst. I honestly I think he was either here or Houston. He could, especially like if you already got big name point guards, and then like we need point guard depth here. That's our issue right now because like I'm getting a little sportsy, but like our issue, like Flag is a phenomenal. Like we got like pieces there that could be something. It's just we our point guard position, like it's lack of experience really, because like our plus plus minus that shit I'll get in detail. That's 303 type talk. But yeah, we just need a point guard. We really need Kyrie back in this on this season, but that everything happened for a reason. But like he needed to go somewhere
Yeah.
where he could sit back and he could talk to veterans, and then the community will that he's playing, they will spread love to him and stuff. Because he right now, like with the part with what I'm hearing, he needs to be around people, Christians that's loving. And I'm not saying just they out here accepting everything with the LGBT and everything. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying just in general of like, hey, we get that, we get where you path from, but
Yeah,
here's some
because I think
scripture.
he was actually speaking on the Pride Week that Chicago actually had. So that might have
Yeah.
been a response to that. But again, I kind of agree that he needs to be around like-minded ones. But I also really believe that he needs to take a beat and isolate himself and first
Too.
get whatever that is, in him and settle his spirit and make sure that he has forgiven himself for all the things that he has been through and that he has done before he goes out and tries to correct someone else. He needs his foothold in the word before he decides to go on um, a preaching tour. Because the ones that know you is going to always bring up your past. And it's like, okay, cool, but I've shed that and I'm on this now. Well, yeah, okay, cool, but how long is that gonna last? So you need to get your foothold to where people are not recognizing who you are and cannot hold your past against you.
Yeah, definitely known for doing that. Anybody that's going around,
Yeah,
this, yeah, because you don't want to be the shamer. You know what I mean? The shamer, like people,
right. When
you don't
you
want to
weren't
be that
shamed.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah, especially when you weren't shamed.
yeah, you don't
People
want.
allowed you your growth, and again, you had to get there. And I understand where he is mentally. He just have to take a beat because the proverbial rose-colored glasses have been snatched off, and he's seeing the world for what it actually is.
Yep. See that wickedness, and he probably see it around him in general too. But hey, that's
Yeah,
real. Uh, Yeah, I don't get a little bit of killers too. Killer Cams a part of this too, but I want to talk about because like a lot of people saying, well, where are the players at? And I got some players that standing up for them, hands down. So I mean, this I would say this before I get a part of the problem with a lot of the commentary now. They not factor in that these players are human too. They just look, the sports econ. They looking at, well, you making this money, you been injured, this and that, and you not doing this and that. Um, they had reason to cut you. That's what the super sports people are saying, and I'm like, okay, that's
I
fine.
was thinking that. I'm like, for me, like a disorderly conduct is saying that he is a problem. Like he is lowering the morale of the team. He is doing something that is an actual fucking problem. Like he's fighting. He's, like for misconduct, it has to be actual misconduct, not his opinion on personal shit. It's not on the court. But again, I ain't in the NBA, so I don't know. I don't know what that contract looking like. But that
And
I thought that's what that was. Like if it's affecting the team overall. His personal opinion is not affecting the team.
if you want to talk
Or
about
maybe I'm
this,
missing something.
no,
I
you
don't
no no
know.
no 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 no. You got a point there because like we establish this. Was there any? Did you see anybody calling for Ivy to be cut like publicly?
No,
I didn't
no,
either. So
no.
that should tell you this wasn't a market based solution. This was a preemptive because you might have a scan. And then if you would have scanned on this,
It
see
might
this
it
where
might
that
be few people in the front office that are of that life, and that he offended.
and this is gonna hurt because there you should see what the media up there is saying. Like I just saw, I mean they got a paywall, but I just saw like a half an article. And I can't even do it because he don't want to go back to it. That talks about, hey, the Jaden Ivey thing is a good example of what's really wrong with the front office in Chicago. So they feeding on fire in local media up there. They look at them like a joke, and I mean I'm literally shocked on that one because like this, I, yeah, I'm a little shocked. I mean because that's Chicago. You wouldn't think that, but
I
like they
kind
putting
of
it,
am not because they've been going through enough.
yeah. So yeah,
Um,
you
yeah,
more
they
close to
they've
that.
been
You close to that situation than I am.
like they are tired of folks shoving certain things down their throat. I would say that.
And the media,
Of
nah,
being
that's shocking.
told, yeah, how of being told just Chicago as a whole.
Uh-huh.
They're being told how to think, how what to believe, whatever. And as you see, like the mayor and the governor is trying to paint a picture of why we don't need a certain president in office or ICE coming here to harass the citizens when you have actual illegal aliens down there to harass the citizens and He walking through parks after his security detail cleared the park and saying, "Oh, I'm safe at 6:30 in the morning. It's dark and blah 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 blah." All that stuff that they talking about is not
Yeah,
real.
bullshit.
And then you'll listen to the actual citizens, and they like, "This motherfucker on new drugs." Because what city he talking about? Because the one I live in is full of shit. Like we can't do this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's
So
read it.
they again, the proverbial rose-colored glasses have been snatched off.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's read.
So that's why he doesn't understand why he's being fired. Because on this side, you may say, well, this is not righteous, but the same people you're saying is not righteous are paying you the money that you're so righteously celebrating. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. You broke it down actually very well. That was good.
Yeah, so if you want to be just righteous, then you would take the path that's least traveled, and you wouldn't even be a basketball player. If righteousness is what's on your mind and that's all you want to do, then you would just be over here, take your money that you made from the NBA, start your foundation, start your church, and preach exactly what you want to preach. But you're not going to preach Jesus on the LGBT clock while they're partially paying you.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
See how this is when like Mace told him the truth in this matter, but he's not being hateful. He's telling it straight up. What's up, Thunder Lady? I'm just reacting. I forgot. I'm so used to calling her Thunder Lady. What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, stop doing that shit.
I'm sorry about
Hey,
that.
bestie.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he said that precisely with love, because he's telling him the truth. Like, hey, you taking money from, like, there's a part that you kind of have to grin and bear it slightly until you able financially to be in a position where you can actually talk about the shit better. So you got a point there.
Yeah. But I believe he does have a point to a certain extent. The thing, like I said, he could have kept the rant to himself.
Look at this.
Kept his head down.
Yeah.
Played basketball. Made sure he was responsible for himself first. Again, get that foundation.
Yeah.
Of himself. Like May said, start a foundation to help the community if that's what you are led to do. Do community service if that's what you are led to do. See what it is. If you have a home church, see how they give to the community and see how you can help bless and add on to that.
Yep.
And reach people one by one. Jesus had to do it one by one. He wasn't on, again, they didn't have the internet, I get it, but he went one by one. He knew he wasn't going to reach everybody, but he reached who he could. And that what he did on social media may have helped a few people, but he lost his job. And that's not how God operates.
And I think too, if again, that might be the two teams he was a part of that made a bigger issue than it is. You know what I'm saying? Just because, certain people of that community might be more prevalent up there than other places. So it's one of those things like that. That was like probably the worst and best place to share your faith. Because like think about like even Mark Jackson. Like Mark Jackson should be in the league in some capacity somewhere. I mean, hands down, because he he built the Warriors the way where they became a dynasty with his toolage. Like, have you ever heard of Clay or Steph or Draymond them ever talk bad about Mark Jackson?
Not that I can recall, no.
It's for a reason, because like Mark Jackson is still in the game. I mean, I want to say well, Mark Jackson, Nick. I think he was Nick. He played on the Pat Riley, I believe. Hold up, let me make sure. Or either let me make sure that Mark Jackson. Yeah, he played for the Knicks. He played for the Knicks when the Pat Riley days, 87 to 92. In Indiana. Yeah. That's why I remember him playing for the Knicks. So yeah, what's up, Trina? So yeah, like he basically built that team, and then Kerr took it to the next level after they got rid of him. And they got rid of him for something similar to how they got rid of I because I think he was just doing Bible study with the players and stuff. That was like a team build. That was like pretty much a team building situation. And God forbid, I mean, and of course, it would come. You know, you can't do that in San Francisco at that time. It might be a little bit different now because, like, shit, San Francisco is
not with them Frisco.
Hey, you'd be surprised. God working mysterious ways, man. Like if you go so far, and then people get tired of getting robbed. People get tired of that stuff, so they're gonna go somewhere else with it. You'd be surprised.
I'm not necessarily surprised. I've seen a lot of shit, and so nothing really shocks me too much. I still sometimes just look at people and try to figure out like what would be their thought process and how they make certain decisions that they make. But it ain't none of my business overall, so I get the hell up out that rabbit hole. But yeah, if he'd have just took a different approach, God could have used him in other ways. And not to say that he, just because he's no longer with the Bulls, that he's still not going to be used in a capacity. And then didn't his wife leave him?
Oh, we won't get to that. We won't get to that. All right,
Okay.
let's go. Yeah. Let's go a little bit further. We'll get to that. I got 1, 2, 4, 5 more things.
I ain't going up here for all that. No. It's been a day.
I took a nap before. I came home and
took
me a good nap. I took me a good ass nap. You know what good ass?
I've been stressed out.
You know when you get a good see this marriage life, you have a good nap and your wife see you have a nap, they get mad.
I'm mad at you right now because you keep saying you had a good nap. Screw you, hippie.
It was on accident too. I came home and like she was about to go get the girls from school. I said, all right, you go enjoy that. I just got from work. let me get my mind together. And they know I woke up. I woke up at 7:30.
I threw something at your ass.
She couldn't get to me because I was. You see this futon? I was right there at futon. Shit. I put a when you sleep good when you put a towel on your head like you. I put one of them towels on my head. I couldn't see.
If I could punch you in person, I would in this very moment.
It was quiet. I had the fans on. I was like, oh yeah, I'm
just
good.
Feel like you rubbing it in.
I would say I'm good. I woke up. That motherfucker said I took a nap at what 3:30. Woke up at 7:30. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I can watch Daredevil after this. I mean, let's
Yeah,
read.
I got nothing. I have nothing left.
Let's read.
You have a right to say whatever you want to say, but don't ask those that you're calling your enemies to pay for it.
Good breakdown. Okay, Cam, and then I have the Steph quote for if you want me to read it after.
Yes.
I don't even know what's the question.
Yeah, what's the line between freedom of speech and consequences in professional sports?
They said it don't when it sparks the money. That's what it boils down to. Niggas is paying the check, and you dissing this niggas that's paying the check, you're gonna get fired. That's just the way it goes. If niggas, you can't look like you can't. We know who you could talk about, who you can't talk about.
All right. I know what you probably thinking on this. I won't be fair. Cam does have a point because I remember vividly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember vividly when Disney was openly going. You had people openly talking bad about half the country, calling half the country who support Republicans is Third Reich, all kinds of crazy shit. And a lot of people didn't watch the shows. It really hit hard in Star Wars. It hit hard, very hard in Star Wars. Like all them writers, they said we're gonna beat. We can't emphasize on things that made Star Wars great, like Luke Skywalker, shit like that. It was the whole thing, and they'll put in their politics. It's not their religion, but they politics above. You know what I'm saying? Above the product and everything. They were diss half the country, and a lot of people got fired over that. So Cam got one. I mean, I'll keep a buck. Cam got a point on that end. Only problem I have is it can't be 100% about the money. There's a happy medium where Mr. Ivey, and this is up to him. This is up to that organization. There's a part where you gotta give him a lane to grow spiritually and give him some covering when it comes to. Now, if he out here just attacking actual sponsors and stuff, that's another level there. Because I have not heard him actually attacking certain sponsors, but like if the sponsors just have issue with him expressing his religious views, that probably should have been a time where you put covering on your player. But then again, on the Chicago Bulls side, they don't have any. They was gonna release pretty much half their team anyway, because a lot of them was expiring contracts and they got a lot of draft picks and they in rebuild mode anyway. So they probably just preempted this just to get away from the quote unquote outrage. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it was seem like a preemptive strike. It's like this is going to be a problem. Let's get rid of the problem right now, so it won't be a problem in the future. They so scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember there was an episode in Will of Grace where Jack was like, they have a whole mafia. Like no matter what you do, they gonna work against your behind. If you say or do anything out of line with them, you get taken out immediately.
I got a question. Do you think they mob that mafia is getting stronger or weak? In your opinion?
In actuality, it is getting stronger.
Explain.
Well, the way they keep wanting to shove certain things down our throats.
Okay.
A lot of people are becoming less resistant, not more. I forgot who I was having a conversation with the other day, and I said I really don't believe in the social construct of lesbians because that doesn't make sense to me. The way lesbians were explained to me in the beginning and what's going on right now, it don't match up. But if I say what I actually, said, they would cancel my ass. They wouldn't do anything to prove me wrong because they don't really have a freaking argument. But they would be so up in arms and offended by what I said that would be the problem.
So I think sometimes we look at current actions and we get blinded by, like, when a tiger is most vicious, or any predator's most vicious, is during probably 3 times their life when they're super hungry. If it's a mom that just had kids or whatever had pups or whatever, or when they dying. Because when they dying, they're gonna be irritable. They're gonna be fighting anything because they dying. They feel like everything's a threat. It's just natural. Like you can even look at you're gonna have more fights with your parents and stuff when they way up in age and they, things ain't where it used to be. That's when you're gonna have most of your fights with your parents. That's natural.
Yeah, it's a growing pain. Because the thing is, a part of you as a teenager, you feel like you live in life, you get to see certain things and you're experiencing certain things, whether your parents explained it to you or not. And so you feel knowledgeable. It's not that you think you know everything, but you're knowledgeable about who you are and how you would handle a situation, which also is kind of a little slow in your thinking because you don't know how you're gonna handle anything until you're in that situation. But hey, you don't think that far ahead.
It's the whole intellectual versus being wise argument.
Right.
Wise is experience, intellectual is knowledge of the theory of the experience. Anyway,
right.
My bad. My bad.
What you said with your nerdish ass. Anywho.
Go ahead. I interrupt you.
Because you know how they say, you teenage, you think you know everything. No, but I kind of know who I'm starting to learn myself. I'm getting to know myself. And I believe if I was in a certain situation, this is what I'll do it. On top of which, if you trust what you pour into me and you trust how you're raising me, you don't trust yourself actually. If you trust how you're raising me, then certain things shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And then they'll hit you with, oh, it's not that I don't trust you. It's some people out there. Okay, but I'm not the people out there. I'm me. And again, if I am in a certain situation of peer pressure or anything else, I can make the decision of saying, I know my mama or father told me this is what's going to happen if I'm in this. So what I'm going to do is get the fuck on.
That part.
It's like that scene, was that Boys in the Hood? I can't remember. It was one of them damn black movies. Anyway, where old boy was riding around, they were about to do a drive-by.
That's Boys in the Hood.
Okay, cool. And he said, let me out the car. He started looking around and he said, let me out, man. Cause this ain't gonna get me nowhere. This shit ain't right. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I want to do things as well, but this ain't the way. I'm not gonna have that shit on my hands either. I don't want blood on my hands. And that's why you have to really trust who you raise. You have to give them an opportunity to prove that you can trust them instead of trying to block it off. Because everything that you're trying to block, they're going to end up doing anyway when they get older and free and not your. That's why a lot of kids go to college and lose their damn mind.
Shit,
You ain't around. You ain't there to stop them. They in the dorm. They got a curfew. Yes.
They forget to wear pants when they go up there. They, it's wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gonna test all they limit.
Uh-huh.
But as far as what Cam said, he right. Again, if you just kept your head down, I get that you got all this bubbling up in you. And maybe you should have consulted with your spiritual father or your pastor before you hit live and went on that rant. Maybe you should have consulted your Bible because that's not how God handles things. You consult with the Lord before you make a move because He will tell you how you can be used in a greater capacity. When you go out on your own, this is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll turn, because again, Satan be working. So you'll turn around and blame God, like, well, I'm trying to help you out and get these people back to you. And this is how I get treated. Well, did you talk to him before you did that?
I mean,
Is this what he told you to do?
I
No.
keep it a buck. My best prayers is just having prayer understanding. Sometimes you just gotta pray for understanding.
Absolutely.
Like, man, that understanding, when you get the understanding, you're like, oh, that's what you're trying to do. That wasn't for me. That was for such and such.
There's a lot of scriptures in the Bible that says let God lead you. And it may not say that verbatim, but he tells you to console your comforter. Who is your comforter? Your Holy Spirit. Who does the Holy Spirit communicate to? The Lord.
The big man.
And how do you hear the Lord's answer? Through your Holy Spirit. Greater is he that is in me than that is in the world. You should have consulted the greater.
Because man,
you didn't do that.
Sometimes, man, like I said, I think it was either you or Selena or somebody called me well-rounded, and like I tried.
I'm probably Selena because I call you goofy. Down here.
Yeah, you call me nerd, all kinds of shit with y'all, big head ass.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but like I try. I don't want to be the idiot in the room. That's my biggest. That's like,
Amen.
I do not. Yeah, that's why I want to. I'll try to know as much, and then it does. Sometimes being an idiot in the room, playing an idiot in the room is the smarter thing. Just because idiots like to combine the other idiots, and you can see if they are idiot or not. It's a whole nother. That's real 3 talk right there. That's deep level talk. We ain't gonna go there. But like, damn. So like, I sometimes feel like I do have to dumb down. Sometimes, depending on who I talk to. I know that sounds fucked up saying that, but it's the truth. Like everybody does
I'm
this.
dumb in my thing.
No. I mean, I'm not dumb. I'm just not. I ain't gonna say dumb myself. That
You're
might be the
speaking to them on their level.
Their level, yeah. That's a better term. Yeah, dumb that. Like I'm quote unquote code switching. Yeah, I love all these little fuck ass sayings they say. Even though they're the biggest code switchers. The people who make up the name, they the biggest code switchers in the world. They'll code switch like a motherfucker.
Amen.
To the white liberal, but going to tell us what for and how we divesting, even though we're not divesting. Oh, no, all that, so we don't get in that. Anyway. But yeah, like, I lost my train of thought, man. I want to give to these players what they saying, because like Cam, ain't nothing else Cam could say in this. He already made a point. Like, hey, they paying your bills, man. You gotta that's why you gotta show a little grace. Like, okay, you know what?
Yeah, you can't be calling them clowns and them clowns names on your paycheck.
Yeah,
that check ain't gonna clear.
And like I said, you'll lend me. I mean, you got in the trade just because they trying to get draft picks. Detroit on a mission.
Like you just basically said the team ain't shit because of what they participate in. Well, You ain't got to be part of this ancient team.
All right. So here's more stuff. I'll make this bigger for you. So Travion Henderson, if y'all know Travion Henderson, he played for Ohio State. He was on the Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowl teams, New England Patriots. Good rookie. I got him on my fantasy team. Good player in general, like dynamic player. So he's siding with Ivy, like, you know, saying scriptures and everything. Blessed those who are persecuted for righteous sake. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That's a good scripture there.
Yep.
So he said that. So this got everybody in arms. I don't play this. Here we go. Let's read.
Travion quoted some Bible verses supporting a Chicago Bulls player who got released for some comments that he made. And I just, how do you measure the line between conduct detrimental to the team, which is why the Bulls released the player in their view, and allowing a 23-year-old to, you know, express his personal beliefs?
I think there is a fine line. I'm going to tell you, I love Travion. I love the person. He cares deeply about our team. He cares deeply about his faith. He cares deeply about his family, his wife, the people in our building. And so I want them to be able to express what they believe in their heart and in their mind, but also want to make sure that they're educated. And we want to be inclusive. We want to, everything we want to do wants to provide an environment for people to, one, feel comfortable, but also to share their personal beliefs. And then also we represent the team and then we represent the organization.
So before I go in, what's the controversy in this? Do you have any problem with what Variable said there?
Not really, because he's saying without saying that that man offended a lot of people. The fact that he said what he said about Steph Curry, that's the team they play against. That might cause some friction. But I also believe he's being very vague and facetious. They are going to make an example because you can't do that. Like you can't, oh, Steph Curry don't know Christ. You can't do that. You can't name drop other players. So maybe that's what they meant about being a detriment to the team. Who knows? Like I said, my mind capacity, because I don't know, all the ins and outs of the NBA. Never been on the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In my limited mind, it is to say like he's lowering the morale of the team. He's starting fights. He's coming in late. He's, all of the things that has always been an issue.
In some cases, some players come in
And
there hot.
again, if they not having those type of repeated problems with that particular player, and this was like his first offense for real, I don't think he should have lost his job for that. But again, limited mind, never been part of the NBA, don't know. Don't know. I don't think he should have been kicked off the team for that. Now he could have been reprimanded in other ways, and again, he could find other ways to live his newfound journey out loud, and it should not affect your career. Because that's just not how God operates.
All right. So the issue NFL fans have with what Vrabel said was the fact that he said educated. Get educated. So they interpreted that as like a re-education situation. All right. So he's getting a little flack over that, over saying educated. And then because nobody's putting things. This is the internet. Nobody's putting things in context. Him saying educating does not mean he need to be educated by that community. He never said anything about the community. He was just saying, hey, be educated on being inclusive in general. Meaning what Mace was saying, like, you know, show great. When people show grace to you, you gotta show grace to them type situation. That's why I got out. That's why I got out of it, because like this reason he's vague, he doesn't really want it. He wants to just coach football. Ultimately, like this is the issue what people gotta understand about sports peoples, coaches, GMs and stuff. They don't want to talk about this shit. They want to they whole life, their whole job right now until they are retired and even after they retire, they do not care about anything about politics. They don't care. They barely, you know, like they got their personal faith. They talk about in the proper context. They probably you know, help out in the church they go to, the whole nine. But they first love is to coach that sport. They are 100% on the level of coaching and bringing men to battle on the football field or whatever. I'm just gonna speak on football because football, you cannot fake love football. You have to be 100% in it, or it's gonna show and it's gonna affect everything you doing in the game. Hands down, that's like one sport you can't fake. You know, you can fake love any sport, but football you cannot fake love. It will come out on the field, hands down.
Yeah. Well, you better not fake love. That's a contact sport. Fuck yourself up doing that shit.
Yeah, you can't fake love. I mean, boxing, you don't have to love boxing, but be on survival tip. Basketball, like, there's a lot of people that playing the game right now that probably don't like playing basketball anymore. Let's keep it a buck. They probably
Yeah, a lot of folks do it just to get their self out the hood. They have a skill. They're gonna use that skill to get their asses out the situation that they are in. That is understandable to the umpteenth degree. I get it.
But football, you cannot. That's why Kaepernick it was a long shot Kaepernick get back in the league just because he showed that he didn't love the game as much as he loved our activism, hands down. And people say, well, he got tricked by his girl and everything. That don't mean that niggas get tricked every day, but they still love the game. So that's not an excuse. And in a lot of business, that's not an excuse. You know what I mean? If you asking, you get he's a quarterback too, it'd be different. He was like a fucking linebacker, even though linebackers you gotta have a distinct love of the game too. But like let's say he was a fucking strong, he's a free safety that, you know, that's good in covering, but just he's an activist. They'll put up with that. But you a quarterback, you the face of the franchise. Like nobody put wins and losses on safety. They put wins and losses on quarterback. Even when the quarterback, you can have a bad defense and quarterback can play a lights out. I'm looking at Joe Burrow. I'm looking at Dak last year. They still put them wins and losses on the quarterback. That's just the way it is. So you can't fake love that. You know what I mean? You gotta be 100%. I'm sorry, I get a little passionate about football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like with Vrabel, like he doesn't want to talk about this. He's saying stuff as vague as possible. He in his context of educating, he's like, hey, he gonna tell look, Trevion, look, I'm with you, I agree with you, but look, stay out that shit. That's the education. Stay out that shit, you know. Call him on the back end, get his number, fellowship with him on the back end, you know, preach love to him and everything, but use your social media more wisely. That's basic education. Look at the demeanor. I could break this
like
down.
I said,
Go ahead, my bad.
he said what he needed to say. It was in a vague term. If people can read between the lines, that's fine. If not, that's fine as well. But he was also being very facetious. They're gonna make an example out of old boy. Like I said, he could have been reprimanded a different way. They didn't have to go straight for the firing. That's one thing. He is telling Trevion to stay the fuck up out of it. He like, I love that boy. He does good for the team. He's a good look, this and that, so forth. But he needs to not get involved in things that does not involve him. You got to remember, dog, Chicago is one of the homes of the mafia, which means a lot of gambling, allegedly. And they can't mess around. You can't mess up their dividend.
All right.
You cannot fuck with their dividends.
I just want you to look. I'm gonna play this one more time. I just want you to look at the body language. Matter of fact, I'll put it on mute. Just look at his body language and tell me, is this somebody that want to talk about LGBT shit?
I can say out loud, no.
You know I want to talk about this shit.
He barely even wanted to answer the question that was presented to him by church. Like, okay.
So
I
we
see.
got. I'm almost done. Yeah, I got two more things. But yeah, I took a nap. You can drop down if you want to. I just gonna show like let me show this one thing. I'll let you see
got
this.
one more damn time to say you took a nap.
Don't be hating on my nap. I mean, so this is Dash Maris, Daniel Galford, and look at his shirt. Like faith is not for the weak. And got see, hey, people talking about like people ain't standing up with him and everything, man. Like, hey, they doing a clean ass.
That shirt ain't lying.
All right, here we go. Let's play what he's saying. You gonna go down if you want to.
I mean, it's a Fashion Nova shirt, so I didn't really even see what it had said until you just said something about it. But I mean, faith isn't for the weak because God gives his test to the strongest soldiers, most definitely. And, I really can't kind of go deep into that, with the stuff that's kind of going on with, the Ivy situation. I don't want to, get away with anything, so we're going to keep it at that.
See, like, and why I want to tell like these right a lot of people that's on the right that's talking about because like the trick is because you see some people kneeling down, you see some people allowing certain things tolerate. You think everybody's tolerating, allowing all that stuff, and you fight up an uphill battle. Part of me think that's by design. Get a couple big name people to go with the bullshit, then you know what I'm saying. It will turn off the right and a lot of things. Then they could double back and work on us to say, look, the right don't like you because this dude will stand up for you even though they not stand up for you. They will fucking grandstanding. That's another two different things. So the beauty of KB, and I've told them this before, is the fact that it proves that these athletes aren't that far apart from us as individuals. They're not like the Hollywood. They're not like, some of the tech people that got God complex and stuff. They just playing the game and happen to be end up becoming part of 1% by sheer will and part luck, part of it's they marketable. Let's call it for what it is. But they not that far apart from us. And the trick is to keep them thinking they are isolated from us and we think they are higher than us. See how that works?
No, because I put no man on the pedestal. That's called worshiping or idolizing. And God said that is a sin. So, but the thing, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. There are those who are very down to earth. Again, they are just there for the game to collect the check. They're not there for the Hollywood thing. It was years ago when Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown had their reality show, and he said something. He said something about Whitney that people may not have known. He said, "Look, she didn't get into this business for fame, glory, fans and all that stuff. She just loves to sing, and that is her job. That's all she wants to do. All that extra, get paid for it, yes, but all that extra stuff. Oh, can I have your autograph? Oh, I need to take pictures." He said that ain't who she is, and people may not understand that. They meet her and be like, "Oh, she funny acting." No, that's just not her minute. Like, she don't want that type of glory. She don't want people, falling all over her. She only got into it just to sing. So these people only got into it because they had a certain skill. They want to exploit their skill to collect the check and take their behinds home. They don't want you talking about, "Oh, we need a card, a jerk. Can I have your jersey? Here's a ball," and none of that. And a lot of folks who are like that are, for right now, religious. Because again, the word says, "Do not idolize."
You want to hear
And
something
they
now?
may feel part of idolization.
And with that part, like, he wouldn't believe me, because I mean, I know I got a large family in Texas. I know people in the music industry, people that came up, people that done hair to certain A-listers that came from here, the whole nine, right? People won't believe me if I told them how down to
Mm-hmm.
earth Beyonce is. What was, I don't know. I can't speak to it now because she's been so far away from the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
But when coming up,
So far
like,
removed, yes.
yeah, coming up and everything, Salon, you can still see in Salon. She's still to that point. She's still there. You know, that's why I wasn't surprised when she was, squabbling with Jay-Z. She's still on that type of time. Hey, like, don't mess with Texas. Anyway, so like, my point is, like, Beyonce, you wouldn't know that she was like into like nerd shit and stuff like that. Nobody will believe that. You know what I mean? She was pretty much a down to earth type of chick. No, nobody would believe that, because we see what the media create at her, and then eventually it take hold, it get bigger than life, that she have to kind of placate to that lifestyle and be more to herself and have a shit around them. Then that opens up doors to conspiracy theories, with some part of it might be true, part of not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on up there. You know what I'm saying? But the
Mm-hmm.
media creates that situation. So I think we have to be careful in general, and I'm talking about people that's in religion, that's spiritual and everything. What the media is portraying these folks, because it's not. I'm telling you, it's not true. They're not that far away from us. They probably, if if the media didn't exist and they were just the media itself, that part of the media didn't exist, and they just talk about the exos and the game and everything, these people will be the leaders of our community, because they will have the avenue to come back and build stuff. And that's the point of problem. They don't want to come and build, is because they know they're gonna be attacked through the media, through the agents of the media. So they try to lay low until they about to be up out of there, and eventually hurts our community, because we don't get to see people coming back, doing things and building up the next generation. It's not it's not a cycle of people coming back and building up stuff, because they know it's gonna be a bitch ass nigga out here gonna want to do something for a story, and they be a part of it
Mm-hmm.
like this. I know I probably said a lot there.
Yeah, you usually do. That's fine. We're used to it.
But yeah, if you want to go drop down, I got 2 more
I
stories.
sure am, because I sleep.
You take care.
Thanks for having me up.
No problem. All right. So here's the one of the biggest. So apparently, I don't know how true this is. Apparently, his household Jaden Ivey's household getting broken up over this.
Those who are around me, those are my family members betraying, because of what I spoke, the truth, saying that I'm losing my mind, saying that I'm crazy. These are my own family members, my blood. Man, he's psycho. He's this, he's that. Those are my own household. That's why my wife in here, and she not even texting me. Those who are around me, those are my family members betraying.
Yeah. So the nasty part of this game is that, and this one the problem. And this I won't say. A lot of people are not built for that journey. You have to know that as a Christian. This is things that if you do get married, you have to have an understanding with your mate on this, right? That being a Christian, being an outspoken Christian, it comes with trials and tribulations. That's what's going to happen because you're outspoken, and it's unfortunate, man. Like, you know, they're gonna make them have to be crazy. I would very suggest this dude. You text enough, but like be very careful what you say in Texas now, because she's when the chips are down and your family and stuff showing this type of behavior, eventually they're gonna be the ones stabbing you in the back. So you take note. Sometimes you need to probably hold your tongue a little bit and just take stock in who's doing what right now, because if people show you who they are, if the chips down and they don't show you love and say, hey, you know what, things gonna be okay, this and that. Even and it could be a situation where she could have warned you, like, hey, I'm not really with this journey that you on, because look, yeah, that part. And then again, you never know her not answering your text. She might be getting spoke to by the Lord at that point. We don't know what situation. She probably need to get that spiritual strength to be there for you. She probably don't understand a lot of this stuff. You gotta show grace in this situation. You don't know what's going on right now, because now you literally you're going a Job route right now, man, and there's no problem with that, because like, hey, we all get hit with the Job. Like, it seemed like you in the pit that some people just keep on throwing dirt in, and so you try to climb out, but they throwing dirt to keep you in there. It sucks. So it's one of the things when sometimes now's the time that you take yourself in the Bible. You just pray for understanding, and make sure you're not doing it for your own reasons, or you're doing it for the Lord. And that stuff you gotta have to deal with. You gonna have to pray and deal with that, man. It sucks, man, because I know it sucks, because like people if you marry, this is the thing. What women gotta understand too. When we marry y'all, we marry y'all because we want to build our legacy with y'all. No matter what race, how good you look, how whatever, we want to build a legacy with y'all. It's a legacy. It's pretty much like so it's not trying to say the right words to this. So it's just gonna hit different, man. Cause like he probably, especially if you've been faithful and everything, man, as an NBA player, this is gonna hurt because you could think about like, man, look, I could have been with anybody. Yeah, I chose you, and then when the chips are down, you push me away. That's what he's feeling right now. And that sucks. And you gotta kind of have grace too, because like I said, if this part be hitting her a different level too in other areas, because like the devil don't sleep. God don't sleep, the devil don't sleep. You could be fighting this, then devil could sneak up behind her and fuck with something she got going on, or her family got going on. We deal with something different here, man. This is spiritual warfare. I feel, hey, pray for this man for real, because like this is pain. Like you give somebody your last name, and then when the chips fall down, they seem like they abandon you. That's very hard, man. And then the gaslighting, the media saying that he's crazy and he's this, Look, man, y'all pray for Jaden Ivey. This is a touchy situation. So I got let's see. I already did that. I got two more stories. And this was going on. Everybody talking about the Jaden Ivey, but this was going on in Iraq, Iraq, meaning Baghdad. It kind of connects with the Iranian situation. So I don't know what this Lips Hip Hop post this. American journalist got snatched up in Baghdad. I doubt they speak English, so I just put that in mute. Oh, yeah, so they basically kidnapped her in broad daylight. See if they show the picture of her. I don't show the picture of her. We're gonna find the picture of her. It's on the thumbnail, but just for reference, that video showed actually how she look and everything. I think she. Oh man. Let's see. All right. Here you go. American journalist Shelley Kittleson kidnapped by armed men in Baghdad, terrifying footage show. And here's more of it. Has been kidnapped by armed men in Baghdad, terrifying for the Trump administration sources. Sources have confirmed that they were aware of the threat against Kittleson and had advised her against traveling to Iraq. Al Monitor reported the State Department is working with Iraqi. Oh yeah, it's about to get bad. So yeah, that's the news out of Baghdad. And if y'all don't know what's the situation that on the ground, A lot of the militia in eastern Iraq supports the IRGC, that's the Islamic regime in Iran, and a lot of militia have joined them to like help them rein in like the citizen, the population in Tehran and stuff. So this is more likely what happened. This is why they probably snatched her up. You know, they need bargaining chips because right now, like, it's a telltale sign. Like they very desperate, and they going to resort to like the terrorist stuff. We got to be real careful. We get actual boots on the ground because it's a lot of stuff, a lot of variables in that situation, and like I said, they know what's going on there. This is why I'm not so hard on if the action's good or not. Is because Iran is showing you, the IRGC, I should say, is showing you why going in there. What might have been eventually the right thing, just because of the way they act and the retaliations to the other Gulf states and the Middle East, which is, I said this the other day, this one missing group that's not been, one country is not getting any of that, rocket fire or anything. That's everybody been getting it except for Egypt, which is weird to me. Just something to put a pin on, and I wonder why that's the case. So yeah, she got kidnapped. It's crazy. Hold up. Hold up. Man, a lot of athletes are standing up with Jaden Ivey. That's a good thing. And I like that. All right, I didn't get to finish this last night because this goes into the NBA situation. So the whole Larry Fink and them are going. They pretty much talk about how DEI was a failed experiment, and now they got to have more pragmatism when it comes to making these these movements, joining movements and everything like that. You gotta be more pragmatic about their approach. So this goes into the issue these athletes are having, because like you think DEI is pretty much this, the way they portraying it went everywhere, corporate, especially corporate America, and it's affecting everything. And like this is the reason why we can't get a lot of stuff that we were used to, like good comedies and stuff, because of that. But like, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this because like it goes into this the situation Jaden got. And this is why I do ultimately think he might get a job back in the NBA, and he'll get a chance back in there because like he's a good player when he's healthy. Like he's legit a good player when he's healthy. He might not have been rehabbing right. It might be some other stuff going on. Again, if you going through the whole spiritual thing, don't tell them what's hitting upside the head on that, like injury wise or whatever. So here we go. Back to Larry Fink.
Do I believe the pendulum 5 years ago was too far? Yes.
You do?
I believe we're more I'm personally more pragmatic too. And I believe.
But do you think BlackRock pushed some companies a little bit further left than you thought?
It was never our intention, because our job is I got to be a fiduciary to everybody who gives us money. Our responsibility, Brett, is to making sure if one of our investors wants to invest 100% in hydrocarbons in Texas, I'm investing 100% of the money in Texas. But if another state fund wants us to invest in, let's say, all green energy, we're going to do that. It's their money. But today, because of AI and the overwhelming need for power and electricity, it can't just be one way right now. It can't just be hydrocarbons. So if you see what China is doing right.
All right, him bring up China. This is why they realize and a lot of DI stuff and a lot of the climate change stuff, that's dead on linked to like the Epstein situation, because like he was a big thing about the climate change situation. That was a big that's one of his big pet projects. That's why Bill Gates was doing what he was doing and everything. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a reason why they pivoting from that, because now you gotta follow the money, you gotta follow the power dynamics, because they think in power dynamics too. They can't have China running the show on AI and stuff, because that's gonna directly threaten them. Because once China get hold of that, let's say theoretically, not saying they're going to or not, they could end up start making shell companies that threaten BlackRock itself and Vanguard and all these big firms that's going on right now. So they're in a particular position where they have to support Trump on these aspects. They have to placate to all Americans, not some Americans. They have to let go of a lot of this stuff. So, because like it was starting to affect. Because if y'all don't know what BlackRock actually does, they invest. They're Vanguard too. They there to invest your pensions if you put them on your 401k. They one of the main. That's how they got their number. They the main. Because like if you got a good pension, and you put like in my job, you could put the money in there, but then you could put in certain investments in here and there and in certain funds and this and that. There's a whole bingo behind that, right? They are part of that thing that builds that up. So when you say fiduciary responsibilities, like you had people that have retirement accounts questioning where their retirement money was going to. And that's a that's a big time negative in Larry Fink's case, because then if people are formed, hey, you know what? Maybe I want my money out of all the place. What's up, CB3? Want my money out of all the places like BlackRock and Vanguard and stuff. I want my money I want to actually start controlling my money and move it here, move it there, move it there. And then on top of that, BlackRock getting bad heat about inflating the housing numbers just because of like they buy all these houses and buy all these affordable houses in certain states and selling them, 10 to 20% over market value, give or take, maybe more, people are more the worst thing they ever had was stopping the economy and people start paying attention to what's going on in the world on a more artistic nature, because we wouldn't be talking about BlackRock if the pandemic ever happened. Like, think about it. Nobody knew what BlackRock was until 2020. Like, unless you was deep into like who's doing what with the economy, you one of these like watchdog type that's in the the forums and stuff like that, you're not gonna know this. We learned all this because people shut down and they had time to really look at things. That's why homeschooling blew up like crazy, because a lot of people saw their kids in these virtual learning and hear their teachers bring up some bullshit. And they're like, oh fuck no, we gotta do something. That's why. Yeah, a lot of places went red that didn't supposed to go red at that point, as in Virginia at the time. Now they flip back, now they're regretting it. That's a whole nother story. But hey, Let's read.
Now, China is rapidly building more nuclear than any other country in the world. They have the largest solar fields in the world,
That's true.
Yet they're the biggest importer of gas and oil. And so to me, more importantly today, I think society has moved into a better position of having more pragmatism. And what you're hearing from me is I'm echoing what we're hearing from our clients.
So you notice he brought up China and talking about how they import fossil fuels and stuff. So riddle me this. If y'all ever play Risk, or better yet, not even Risk, Monopoly. I put it in Monopoly context, right? Trump is literally like when he take control of the Panama Canal, right? That's big money. You could charge China terrorists of going through there. You take away Venezuela heavy crude, right? And natural gas. I think they got a lot of natural gas too. Now that's the importer you take away, right? Iran's off the table. That's a lot of I want to say that was like 90% of their oil right there because it's like in the same hemisphere. Well, yeah, give or take same hemisphere and everything. It's right there. So yeah, like, and then I believe some of that stuff was going through wet rail in some cases, which slight cases on that one, but like most of it from straight out, I'm straight and everything. So you take that off the table. And right now, I think a large percentage of China oil is coming from Russia, which can easily be taken off the table if that deal with them in Ukraine work or whatever happened with that. Because Russia and China don't like each other. They didn't even like each other during the Cold War. They had like many wars between each other nobody talked about. And then there's uprising everywhere going on. I talked about it yesterday, going on in China itself. So what it seemed like to me is China's better be cornered because if they don't have heavy crew, they can't build a navy. A lot of heavy crew is there to manufacture steel and help build ships and all kinds of that type of stuff, heavy manufacturing. That's what a lot of that heavy crew is for. So you're not getting 90% of your oil like you used to. What that does to your economy, how does unemployment start happening? Because now you got a whole bunch of engineers that can't work and do what you need them to do, like build stuff. So it made me make you think. BlackRock might have seen the tea leaves coming and decide to abandon all the DEI initiatives and climate change initiatives because we're at a point where we gotta win. We have to win this now. So 20, 30 years and that, a lot of people generations won't be in no type of world war type situation. Just think about 20 years from now. That's 19. I say 19. That's 2046. That's roughly 100 years since World War II. You know. So just a thought, man. Like, what's odd about Larry Fink making this move now might be because of the cornering of China. And this is the time that he gotta get his shit together. They gotta get their shit together, or they're gonna be like I forgot that be like the farms of 2008. You don't want to be that. So with that being said, man, like I appreciate everybody coming. Appreciate Nacho. Shout out to him. Shout out to Trina. Shout out to I'm Just Reacting. Dumb LA. Shout out to you. Prayers up to you. Shout out to Phoenix that come on the panel. Shout out to Sassy. Shout out to everybody showed up, man. This has been 2 hours. I went in. Me and Phoenix went in on this one. So yeah, with that being said, take care.